Hello everybody and welcome back to Oakbridge Farms. So, in the last episode we made a fairly substantial amount of money, and to start this episode off we are going to go over to here and we're going to build ourselves a second spinnery. So if we go on to construction and we will find it. So our current spinnery is one of the FS22 versions. And I would like to go for, which it's a lot cheaper, but I'm just trying to debate whether we go for one of the base game ones, which I think there's this one, which is more in keeping with the brickwork, but we do have some Polish on the top of it, maybe, I don't know, or we can go with the American version. But I'm just trying to decide sort of which will be best, especially with the price difference. I can't bring myself to do it. These are half the price of what the other ones are. I just need to try and find. Right, so there's the marker. So delivering to the left, pick up on the right. Yeah, these. Oh, oopsie. Can I sell that and get my money back? Sell. Oh, my bad. Right, we'll just have to edit this and then try again. Right, well that was lucky, not too many problems. So if we just push this back slightly, is that going to give us a better... So that's all flattened out, but it's still charging me. Well, not to worry. So we'll bring that forward, and I think that's going to be a much better place for it. And now we have that in, we can do a bit of editing. I'm not too fussed about this, about bringing this so far back, because the plan was always, there is a bit of a line here to cut this off and then we can start building and productions on here. But the whole point of building this second spinnery is we now have that much wool coming. We need to process it. And we've been fortunate enough to get this much fabric at the moment. So if we have it going, well, we have two going, we'll get twice as much. And there we have it. Some may say I'm being a bit excessive, bringing this all, so we've got a nice straight line going down here, but all of this will eventually be built on. But now we need to take our case, which has already got our trailer on, take this down to the sheep, and we can load up with some more wool and get that straight over there, because then I think there's not much more for us to actually do in this episode. Well, not in this episode, in this month, because the snow is making things a bit harder to do. I would like to go and get a little logging trailer with a crane, because I want to see, look at all that wool there. I would like to go get a logging trailer with a crane, because I'd like to see how hard or difficult that is. I have had a mess around with keybinds, so I'm hoping that should be something like alright. But as you can see, just the amount of wool here is absolutely, it's ludicrous. It's amazing, but I don't quite know how I'm going to get through it all. Well, I do, but yeah, it's a sight to see, and I don't really want to just be selling wool for the sake, because I can't process it. So with the price of fabric, it's well worth, I think, getting this extra spinning. To go, we'll have to probably go and invest in a snowblower or a snowplow after, well, with this evidence of how hard it is, I should say. But on the plus side, there is 23,000 litres of wool we have here, so it's going to well and truly fill up our second spinnery. And here we are. It's only a very small spawn point, but it doesn't need to be too big for us to get all bar that one that we're just missing there. So we'll just pull this to the side, and just excuse the quick, put that in. Now, let's go to our factories. We still have a bit of the loan to pay. So, spinnery, fabric, wool, activate and storing. Oh, so it's got a 45,000 litre capacity. We may be able to fill both these spinneries up, but that's 9,000, so that needs the next lot. Right, so we now need... we don't have... Our John Deere is over at... I think that's still over at the farmer's market, so we'll use the case again and we'll find our big green trailer. So the case is now on the big green trailer. We'll have to take this, our telehandler, because the BGA will need some silage, and if we're not careful it will, well, it definitely will. If we were to sleep now, it would run out and we wouldn't be making any money to keep us going, because when we move into the next month, that is when we're going to look at buying something a bit special. We're going backwards. Right, we'll have to take that off. Hopefully that stays still, and I think you'll have to be to go get the John Deere, which fortunately that is just up the road here at the farmer's market, but we're sliding all over. Just that case does not have the power that we need, so we'll take this back. This could do with a refuel as well at some point by the looks of it, and we'll leave this trailer in the forestry and we will then try and get that on. Well, we can only hope that this works, because apart from that we've got the case, but that will take a lifetime to get here. I was just looking at before I opened this save game. Look at the wheels, they're all going at different speeds. That's cool. I was looking just before starting this save game at there's the tyre wear mod, which I'm kind of glad I didn't install it, because if it gave me worn down tyres I would royally be stuck. Oh, we've moved slightly then. Here we go. That's all we needed, was just a little start and we're away. So I'll see you at the BGA. All our oils are starting to build up now, so that's a lovely sight. There'll be plenty of money there for us when we need it. But right, we are here, finally. That's taken a bit of a lifetime, but let's dump that into here. And factories, BGA, yes, so that's slowly going up, which is nice. And is there anything else that is worth selling? Digestate, should we put that on to sell, and then we can just makes us another 34,000, and then we have grass, hay, but we're keeping all that. Manure, we will keep that. Seed, we'll keep that. Ooh, 92 straw, no, we need to keep that. It's never ending. Keep that, keep that. Wood chips, would they? Oh, the price is going down. I'm just trying to think. Farm Bay 1, where is that tag place? Please be up near the top, near the wood chips. No, it's over here. We're going to lose the wood chips. We can do them next month. But right, we will. I want to get out of this month now. I'm hoping that if we get to the farmhouse and sleep, we'll go till 10 a.m. I'm hoping this will get us out of all this snow. And good morning. The snow is still here, so we are going to increase the time just to see if we can move this. And like normal, our sheep the pasture's full, so we need to go empty that of wool. Right, something a bit special. The time has finally come. So we've got, this is the base game. That's what you get, base game. I'm thinking, depending on what we can do with this truck, we want to max the engine out. We want 6x2 sun shields. No. What's design? Yes. No, I'm not too bothered about that. Mud flaps, they're only on the front. We might as well put them in. Roof setup. XL. Let's go XL. Additional lights. I think we want everything, don't we? Beacons. Yes. And then the only thing that I would quite like is to change the tyres. Can we do that or not? Wheel setup. So what have I changed there? So that's put his fatter tyres on the back. Look at that, 8x4. Right, let's just have a think, because we also have the man, because the only thing... Oh, is this the base game one? Yes, because we got that in the latest. That's from Giants, if I remember rightly. The other one is the man, which this you got some beefy tyres on there, and then that is about all of them. I'm just gonna have to have a think now and just see which would be best for us. We're going for it. This is what we're going to buy. So it's 500 horsepower. We've got the extended cab. We've got every light possible. We've got all the wheels. So with the power, it should give us enough traction on the road. So let's buy this. And then let's now go and find it. That looks a proper beast as that now. I think this will be perfect for us just to get started out, and then in time we can look at upgrading it and getting a bigger one. But let's see what it's like in the snow, because this isn't going to be our only purchase of the episode. Well, I know something needs some weight on the back. It's bouncing around like no tomorrow. But we'll get this to the farmyard, because we can now finally get... we will keep the dolly just in case, but we can finally take the dolly off and we can use this solely for all our truck work. So we're here. Let's put this onto, we'll put it onto our slurry tank first, and just see, this weight should help out, although I think the slurry tanker could be empty. The only downside I think to this would be, because we've put the extra wheels on, it will add a load more length to the vehicle, so when we're turning corners we will have to be we'll have to make sure that we do take them all as wide as possible. But for the time being we'll put this in this corner here, and we'll also put our logging trailer here. And now for the logging trailer. And also, you'll probably notice, the snow is finally gone. That has been an absolute battle. But it does mean, however, that we're going to go to our next purchase. So, let's go wood transport. We're going to buy this. And we're also going to buy it with the crane. So that's 45 by... And then for the fourth thing to buy, because obviously we've bought the spinnery, we've bought our truck, and we've bought our new logging trailer, we're going to do a new cow barn. We're fortunate in knowing that the amount of fabric that we do have a lot of money there for us that will come in due course. So this is the one I want to go for, and we'll be putting solar panels on it. We just need to work out if, I probably should save first, just in case we do anything wrong. But we will have to do some landscaping. So let's just turn that off for the time being. We'll pull this a bit further forward out of the way. Now, construction, landscaping. We want to level out a relatively big area, I would have said, on this top. So B to change where. Now we'll keep it the same. So we'll go off this sort of an angle, I think. I'm hoping this isn't too much of a discrepancy. Want to make sure we have enough place to load our lettuce. So let's pull it out here. Let's just do... I would always much rather do a bigger place because we can always smooth and soften and the like. So let's fill all this in. Say all this here, we can smooth all this out. So that shouldn't be too much of a bother. So let's fill all this in like so. I think that may very well be everything. Now let's go back on to animals, cows. This one. F for the solar, yes please. And yeah, that fits just brilliantly. So we do want to make sure we can pull down the side here, because that will be very beneficial. So I think if we go there, where is it? Here we go. I think that works very nicely. Leaves this place open because I would like to put a shed in there at some point. We've used as much up to the wall, it's very in keeping, and we've still got our solar. So all we need to do now is just smarten it up and finish it off a little bit. And there we have it. We're now fully concreted out. We even have ourselves a little feature in the middle. So we've got an oak tree surrounded by a lot of cherry trees. So when they come into flower, it should be a rather pretty sight. And we also have, oh, I'm getting stuck in the trees, our little gate, which even opens so we can come in, and if we need to, have a sit down and relax. May even put a bench in here at some point. All we need to do now is find the John Deere, which is here, and we'll get to the shop and we can go grab our new logging trailer. I am looking forward to using this, but also at the same time I am very, very ominous. I think the last time I tried to use one of these was Silver Run Forest on 22, on FS22, and it just went horribly wrong. So, and I think the lengths I've cut them into, which they're 8 to 9 metres, could be too much for this. But we'll give it a go, and it's trying something different and new all the time. Okay, so we've worked out, if you look at the top left corner where it says control group, we've got the tractor and then the trailer, and it says 1. So when it says 1 like that, we can, if you look at the back of the trailer, we can extend it to get a bit more length. When we then change again and get control group 2, that then brings us into our crane. So let's lift this up. Wise. Right. That's annoying. My crane isn't working properly. So how do we... Right, there we go. So we can move that forward. Let's twist that round. Open it up. And let's just see whether... I think with this it's going to be a bit harder than what I thought, because I know I did try it on one of the forwarders, which that was relatively easy, but you didn't have the whole thing with the crane on the back, with the trailer extending on the back. So let's turn this round. Can we change camera angle? So tractor, crane. Is there a better crane one? Obviously not. So let's spin this round. Spin it round like so. And then where is... Here we go. So let's put this down. We can open up the grip. And I think that shows us that we do need to cut these a bit shorter. Let's have a look. Oh, we need to cut them miles shorter. So what have we got that set to now? So that is Z. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we'll get away with 6. But anyways, we'll give this a go and see what happens. If not, this will be going, and we may very well buy a forwarder in the near future. Well, I'm definitely not going to give up with that, because as much as that was hard work, I did actually thoroughly enjoy trying with that, because it's something completely different, isn't it? You know, I think that's what makes it fun, and for me that's the whole purpose of... Ooh, I don't want to hit down too much on that. Let's lock them into place and we can take these to the sawmill. But yeah, it's trying all these different and new things and trying to learn what to do, you know, and how to do it properly. Like, ideally, I think you'd have 2 joysticks for doing that way. So obviously trying to do it all on one, and your perception is completely different looking from a game as it is from looking in real life. But I'm happy, you know, I've thoroughly enjoyed that. And I think when we, if we can, eventually buy ourselves a forwarder, that would be even more fun. And I think you'll be able to get a lot more on. It would certainly help if I cut them all to a decent length, but with this bit of thinning I wasn't quite sure how I was going to do it. Like this, for instance, was never an option, because I know how much I struggled in 22, let alone now. But anyways, I'm sure you'll all be very glad to know that come next month, I think it is, we will just quickly check once we get ourselves parked in this trigger. Next month we can, because I know we've got sorghum to do and we've got sunflowers to do. So if we go to S, so sunflowers can be done next month, and we'd have to wait for sorghum the month after. So I'm sure I've already said, but this is going to go into sorghum. Field 10 is going to go into sunflowers, and then obviously we've got our poplar to go into there. Where's poplar ready? So poplar. So next month we can do our poplar, get that in, and we'll need to hire in a planter, well, a tree planter for the poplar and a normal planter for the sunflowers, and then it will be sorghum for the month after. And that's all in the hope that we should have enough money so that we can then buy a grain mill, which if we go on to here and find, where are they? So sunflower oil, that's going, well, that's a very good price now, but that's saying March. And what else did I have to have a look at? Fabric. So fabric, we currently have 306,000, and there's max value of 373, which if we sell that to into our farm shop, we should get a lot more. And by that point, by May, having 2 spinneries should be phenomenal. But let's hop out of here and we can put this in. So we have wood. How much wood is in here? Have we run out of wood already? Oh dear. So let's put it in. So that's given us 11,000 litres of wood. That works rapid. I didn't pay attention to actually how much we had here in the first place. Not as much as what we sold in the previous episode, but anyways, On that note, I would like to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you have all liked and enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye for now.